Okay, I think we will get started. Good morning, everyone. You're for a treat today. It's all three of us, Jen, David, and myself. We're talking
Hello.
about, go ahead, Jen, say hello. David,
Yes.
they were here. Say hello, both of you.
Hi,
Jen's,
everyone.
Jen's just smiling. Nope, you're still muted.
Oh, sorry. Always smiling.
Okay. Anyway, today we're going to talk about what can I do in the last 30 days to end the year strong? And the reason the three of us are here is we all have a different perspective because we all have a different position in the company. And so I thought it was important for us each to tell our position on how we would end the year strong. I take it from a management perspective. Jen and David take it from different social media perspectives, but hopefully you'll come away with one or two ideas that you can end the year strong and then position you going into 2021. And with that, we'll get started. So this is pretty much what happened this year. I was sitting down to write my holiday letter for 2020, and I had a real urge to just leave the whole page blank and send it out because it's been such a year, and I don't want to say negative things. But yes, all the things we planned to do changed desperately in March when everything changed for us. So in a normal year, we would review a whole bunch of different things. We would review our process and procedure. We would know what our financials were and where we wanted to go. We would look at how we wanted to be more creative. We would want to add value rather than a discount. We would change habits that didn't work for us the last year. We would set some realistic and achievable goals. We would look at our support and mentors. We want to improve our digital footprint, and we would show gratitude to our clients. That would be a normal end of the year review. But then COVID happened, and everything was a struggle just to do our basic things. So there's an old saying that says, if you keep doing things the same way you're doing, you'll get the same results. Well, things were not the same, and we did not get the same results. Oh, so I'm going to have to read this because I forgot my animation doesn't work when I upload it. This is not a good thing. Hang on. So anyway, the deal is that there was no in-person meetings. We had to find a different way to meet people. There were no in-person seminars or events that we could go to meet people or learn new things or teach new things. Everything was closed. Your office, your business, you couldn't get out. Your employees, some of them stayed, some of them went to part-time, some of them you had to let go. And working from home became the normal. So you want to make a list of everything that changed in your business so you can look at what you want to do different. Sorry about the slide thing. So what can I do in the last 30 days to end the year strong? You want to meet with your team, if you still have a team, and openly discuss the possibilities, what went well, what went wrong, what ideas they've seen throughout that could change what you do. Focus on the critical items that you need to get done in these last 30 days and remove any obstacles. We all put obstacles in the way of our clients. It's what we do. We say, no, we're not going to do this, or that's not the way it works, or you have to qualify for this. You need to look at those and see if those obstacles are realistic at this point and maybe remove them. You need to revisit and adjust responsibilities for your staff, especially if it has changed. Give them the opportunity to grow into other positions, meet with clients, try to help you get to where you need to be. Focus on actions, not just planning, but actions, and make that plan, what it is you need to do. So I wanted to put a COVID picture here of how things terrible were, but I decided to go with the warm, fuzzy kitty piece, that we're all tired of being indoors. We're all tired of wearing masks. We're all tired of not doing anything. But how can we make our business thrive? Because it's not going to go away. What can we do in these last 30 days to position ourselves? Because I'm looking at next year already. But there's still things I'm doing in this year. So we need to look at those things. So this is where I hand off to David, I believe.
Yep. Hello,
Oh,
everyone.
wait.
Oh,
I
no.
have one more slide.
Okay.
It's the only thing I don't like about this program is I don't get my next slide synced. So what you want to do is you want to stay connected with your loyal customers because the ones who are still coming to you and still need you, they're the ones who are supporting you right now. And offer your knowledge to support them and the others who can't pay for you right now. So what are you doing? Are you making phone calls to connect with them? Are you giving out emails? And not just the sales emails. We're all getting 6 million of those. What emails that help them, that are beneficial to them, that make you a benefit to their business, sorry. Are you having any Zoom meetings to catch up with them? And I know they talk about Zoom fatigue now, but it's still a great way to have a conversation with a client or anyone else. Are you partnering with others? Have you made partners in this time where the two of you can support each other, reach each other's clients, and be of beneficial for both things? Have you stepped up your image on social media and updated your brand? These are things that you can do right now that will help you connect with those customers and poise you to be ready to go. Here you go.
Okay. So, as Virginia said, my name is Dave Marks. I'm the digital marketing coordinator or digital media specialist, I believe is my title with Weiskopf Consulting. And for those who may know, this symbol right here, well, first is a triangle, but for those math whizzes out there, this symbol represents delta. And for those math whizzes, you would know it's change. So much has changed over the past year, but you probably already knew that. It's super imperative that you recognize that change is the only constant. With that being said, how can your organization adapt or change to better meet the needs of your clientele? My answer? See if I am unable to move it.
Okay, I got it.
Thank
Just
you.
let me know. Yep.
Yep, I will do
All
that.
good.
Okay. Think differently. That's my answer. One way to do this is to look at what your competitors are doing to end the year and either doing it going the other way or put a new spin on what they are already doing. So while there isn't a huge amount of time left in the year to do this or to do a comprehensive competitors analysis, your organization should have a fairly good idea what your standard for your industry is to finish the year. For example, offering discounts on products or services, sending an end of the year email. Most of you probably know exactly what kind of industry standard you all do at the end of the year. If all your competitors are doing something like this, what would make your organization stand out? In a word, basically nothing. And as Virginia mentioned, we are getting inundated with emails and sales pitches and everyone looking to grab everyone's different resources. So what can you do to kind of put your own spin on it, to make it creative, to make your company and organization stand out? You could advance the next slide, please.
Yep.
Thank you. So let's say, for example, that your industry standard is to send an end of the year newsletter, maybe recapping what your organization has accomplished as what you forecast and what you forecast the next year will be like. So why not turn that on its head? Instead of focusing on what your organization has accomplished and making it all about your business, create a survey to see how your clients see your business and what else you can be doing to improve your product or service. Get an idea of what they're looking for out of your business, then build the following year's mindset and strategy off of that feedback. Again, we get inundated with these end of the year, things are going well. We're looking the next year to build a better presence, et cetera, et cetera. You all know the gist of those emails. So again, how can you put a spin on it so that you're more focused on the clientele and what they're getting out of your product or service? Next slide, please. Another example would be to partner with a local nonprofit to help improve their visibility and promote them. People love partnerships like this, as it shows your organization isn't just concerned with profit, but rather with also helping people. This will help promote your business to the community. With many nonprofits running end of the year campaigns, many look for partnerships with for-profit organizations. it's a win-win for everybody involved. I would say that people really gravitate towards things like this, and find a nonprofit in your local area that kind of echoes what your company or organization is about, and then partner with them and see how you can kind of both promote each other. It's a great way to get the word out about a good cause, as well as get the word out about your business. Next slide, please. Another example to finish the year strong is to show your employees that you appreciate their hard work. If bonuses aren't an option, and for a lot of organizations this is true, consider gift cards, more flexible work hours, maybe an extra day off here or there. And the reason why I say that is studies have shown that when employees are asked if they would work harder if their efforts were better appreciated, 65% of satisfied respondents said they would. This is an important statistic, that's a tough word, as it can set in motion appropriate improvements in your work environment, digital too, that may lead to more work being accomplished during the end of the year. With so many deadlines and important work that needs to get done, small tokens of appreciation can only help improve the working atmosphere and productivity. Next slide. With business going more and more in the direction of digital, explore new or different digital platforms that your business could thrive on or in. Look into creating your own e-commerce site, for example. Spend time reviewing different social media platforms that your competitors may not be on. Harness your creativity into a new promotion or campaign, or use new platforms on existing digital ecosystems, such as Instagram Reels or Twitter Fleets. Now, all of these different platforms might not work necessarily for your business. In fact, I can tell you, don't throw a blanket over all of it and say every platform will work for me, but find one that would work and resonate well with your clientele and possibly new supporters. My suggestion is to be where your competitors aren't. This can only help improve brand recognition that will not only help you with a month to go in the year, but also long term. And I am done.
Okay, Jen.
Yeah, thanks. I'm focused on a little bit more on the digital advertising and side of this as a Google Ads specialist. So my first suggestion is to really stay in the digital world and make everything cloud first. While millennials love this, other generations are liking this new normal, whether it's curbside pickup, ordering online. So anything that you're doing in the next 30 days, as well as for next year, should be focused on being digital first. You can always offer an in-person option as well, if that's part of your business, but invest first in cloud and digital. And the growth should really come in both digital and using the cloud, for instance. So again, enhancing more e-commerce than maybe in-store retail, at least for the near future. The other thing to do, particularly now, is more digital advertising. Even if you're B2B, from remote learning to work from home, we're all online more often these days, more so than we were. Be sure to grab them, meet them where they're at. Whether that means trying display advertising, putting just more dollars into digital advertising that you're doing, and then don't forget, remarket. When you've got a customer and you've got products or services that they're willing to buy over and over again, making sure that you're staying in front of them with remarketing is one of the best ways. It's one of those high converting type of campaign that's really good for business, and it keeps you in front of them as well. So word of mouth then explodes from there as well. The other thing is, don't forget to advertise your differences in your digital advertising, whether that's mentioning your COVID protocols, like, you're now offering takeout maybe, or delivery or curbside delivery, or maybe you're sanitizing your store twice a day, or now you can order online. Whatever those differentiators are that you didn't have prior to COVID, make sure that you're putting that in your ad messaging so that people know. So that way, particularly companies or customers that may know you, you want them to know you in a different way. And I want to stop because it looks like we have a question from Donna in regards to remarketing. So what remarketing is, if you have a visitor to your site, a cookie is placed on their computer in their browser to let the browser know that they've visited your site. That way you can actually have an advertising campaign that is targeted to them, those people that have visited your site and maybe haven't purchased or, you know, filled out a form or something like that. And that way you can actually kind of follow them around and they will see your advertising. Particularly effective on the Google search network. So as they're at different sites, they can see your advertising. So it's a way, again, whether it's a customer who's bought from you, you can send them a special message in your advertising that says, hey, you just bought from us. Here's an extra 5% off your next purchase, for instance. Or maybe it's a different message for those who haven't purchased from you where it's like 10 or 15% off. If you've ever looked at a product on a website and then later seen it in advertising, it's kind of that creepy remarketing that I like to call. That's an example of remarketing.
And yes, you can do it too.
Yes. It's a little creepy, but it's actually become more normal now, so people don't freak out about it as much. And those who don't want to be remarketed to have turned off or turned on their extra privacy or turned off things like cookies and stuff so that they won't be affected by it. Okay, so again, advertising our differences, anything new that you're offering because of COVID or even anything that's not COVID related, but specifically COVID. The other thing is change your messaging. You've probably seen TV commercials, for instance, where we have more racially diverse individuals. We have people wearing masks. We have messages of we're here for you. We're willing to do whatever we can for you. So connect with those customers on a new level with a new tone. Show empathy, show solidarity, show your understanding, and show your commitment to them. Again, we're not doing this just to be, politically correct, for instance. I mean, we really do care about our customers. So why don't we show that to them? And part of that is also showing them the differences that we're making so that they can still rely on us as a store, as a service business, and those types of things. The other thing is freshen up your advertising. Again, don't put an ad out there and then just keep it the same for 30, 60, 90 days. Make sure you're doing regular updates in your text, your images, your messaging, while using also your COVID messaging as well as any thing like empathy, commitment, solidarity, understanding. You can also use Google and Facebook have enhancements where you can have dynamic ads so that they're constantly recirculating between headlines and descriptions, for instance, in your text ads, so they're not always the same. This way, customers who are searching, because we're searching so much more online, we're doing so much more online these days, they want to see something a little bit different, maybe something that catches their eye a little bit differently than the same old ad that they've been looking at, for instance. And then the other thing is have a little bit of fun where you can, obviously. But I have a couple ads here. One of them is for coffee. Is how do you self-quarantine? You stay home and you get coffee. Another one that was offering a free roll of toilet paper early on. And it looks like we're having a problem with toilet paper and paper towels again as we roll into, at least in this area. So an opportunity to offer a free roll of toilet paper. Or this other one is actually from the New Zealand government that says stay home, drink wine, save lives. So if you have an opportunity to have a little bit of fun, obviously you want to not cross the line. There are some ways to go ahead and do that with some of your advertising. And I think that's it for me, Virginia.
Yep, I have a wrap up here, and then you guys should all be thinking about your questions and start putting them in the chat. So at the beginning, I gave you a list. So to review your processes and procedures. So add your new process and procedures that worked for you this year, because you had to make changes this year on the fly. What worked? Because the new normal is going to include enhanced delivery from everyone, curbside pickup, all the different things that are happening. Know what your financials are. Did the pandemic increase or decrease your bottom line? Because there are things that you lost and there are things that you gained. Like I absolutely had time and material clients who pulled back on what they did, but all of a sudden I began producing online events for people. So where did you lose? Where did you gain? Where did you end up? Think creativity and change your habits. What have you done? And like Jen says, what have others done? Think outside that box. Think about how your product or service can be delivered a little differently. Add value rather than a discount. Jen talked about discounts in the advertising, and I think that's okay if that's what you'd like to do. But it's what is the value of your service and how can you enhance that value? So a lot of the stuff that we do, we can do remotely. We can take care of almost 90% of our clients remotely. There is a small percentage in the IT session where you have to be there to reboot the machine. In that case, we work with the client to do that. But how are you being different? What are you doing differently in terms of that to make that service valuable? You want to set realistic and achievable goals. Don't underestimate that the things are getting back to normal because they're never going to go back to the way it was. Use mentors and a support team. There's so much help online right now. It's finding the right one. There's a lot of times I will attend a webinar someone's getting because I think it sounds interesting, and I'll put it on while I'm doing something to see if it's the right fit for me. If it's what my business is looking for to help in a way or not a way, you should do that all the time, just like coming to the trainings on Friday morning. The biggest thing I can say is improving and increasing that digital footprint, because that's where everyone finds you. I know that a lot of small businesses balk at wanting to put money into advertising dollars, but you can do as little as $50 a month on Google or Facebook consistently and be there on a consistent matter, consistently timing, and then use that remarketing so the people who saw you see you again, because you need those 5 to 7 touches to make that sale. And make sure that you show your gratitude to your customers, that you appreciate them. One of the things that David said earlier about doing something different and doing the survey with email, every year at the end of the year, I send out a holiday card to all my paying clients, and some of them who I'd like to come back around, and send them a coupon and a happy holiday. This year, I don't know if you can see this, I decided to go old school and send a little newsletter that will contain the coupon on the back, just something different. So it comes to them, it's in their hand, it's in their office, it's not just digital. So what are you doing to spur ideas, to show your gratitude to your clients? Okay, so now we're into the chat part where I would love for you to ask us questions. I see you didn't use my time while I was speaking to type any questions in. And as you can see, we came from it. I'm going to continue to talk till I see a question. As you can see, each of us came from it from a different perspective. One of the things David said was partnering. If you see a lot of nonprofits because they're really hurting, partnering with local businesses and restaurants and other things that if you make a purchase there, they get a cut of it. That's what you can do to partner. When David talked about partnering with nonprofits, nonprofits usually have raving fans. So they're all going to get this. So if you're going to do something for them and a portion of what you do is going to them, you're meeting new people. It's very important to meet new people during this time. I've partnered with a couple different nonprofits and given a lot of free webinars. And in the course of that time, over this year, I've put on over 400 new email names on my email list. So for me, that was a win, because in this time when I wasn't meeting anyway, I had to structure it so I could meet people and then market to those new people who you get in. Jen or Dave, do you have a wrap up? Well, it looks like we're not getting questions. Let's do a couple more wrap ups.
I would say that, yeah, a lot of the think differently talk that we discussed in this webinar, you should take to heart. I know a lot of the time in my working, the most success I've had came when there was a different spin put on something. or your own take or tangent worked well. It's not, you don't want to fit in, you kind of want to stand out. So think of how your business can stand out amongst the probably hundreds or thousands of competitors that exist out there, and try some new things, especially in this era of COVID. It's definitely worthwhile to try different things.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And like I said, have some fun with it. People do need a little bit of a laugh, a smile to some degree, and being able to provide that. So again, have some fun, but also show your empathy and commitment to your customers, whatever that means for your business, for instance. It's just a little bit of a different world, and being a little bit different and not so buttoned up maybe in our business professional mind, but letting go a little bit, being a little bit more human based, I think is key, particularly this holiday season.
And be open to other forms of social media, and be sure that they're good for you. So my girlfriend sent me a link to TikTok, which I was not on, to see, it was branding mistakes, because we're going to do the big branding thing in December. And so I watched it and I wasn't that impressed, but in order to watch it, I had to sign up for TikTok. So there's an hour and a half of my life that I'm never getting back, right? Because you just keep scrolling, waiting for one that might be funnier than the other one. And I was totally sucked into it. The question for me is, when is it going to be monetized and it's going to lose its funness? Because the only reason I watched is because it made me smile and I escaped for a while. And you said, David, I think that fleets, and what did Instagram do?
Instagram Reels, it's kind of like Instagram Reels is like basically TikTok, essentially. It's the same thing.
Right. So it's a way to do something fun and promote yourself. And even if you're not selling directly, it's an indirect sale, because they may remember you. Though we all have watched the commercial on TV that we thought was hysterical and absolutely don't remember what the product was. So be careful. So we don't have any more questions. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you weren't expecting do this, this, and this, and you'll end the year strong. We really wanted to focus on what you can do to put yourself in a position and move forward. We appreciate you coming to be with us on our Friday trainings. And we will see you next week, or is it 2 weeks? I think in December we're being lighter. And I think it's not until the 11th that we will see you again. Have a great day.
Talk to you guys later.